Hello Star Wars YouTube fans, thank you for visiting my channel today, Johnny Star Wars. Hope you're all well. I've got a video message today that I'd like to pass on to Hasbro with regards to the state of play for the vintage collection. It just seems to be over the last year or so, the focus is very much gone from the vintage collection, probably more so this year. We seem to have got a very poor offering this year, particularly as it's the 40th anniversary of the Empire Strikes Back. It would have been great to see a Lobot figure as part of the vintage collection. Slim chance you might get that maybe as part of the carbon freezing diorama that is reputed to be being made. But I'm just a little bit concerned, if I'm honest, for what things might be like for next year. Obviously we got coronavirus that's causing havoc around the world at the moment, and I know the way things are done, they're always sort of like planning figures a year ahead, so just makes me wonder, you know, if 2020 is bad, what 2021 might be like. So I am and always will be a 3 3/4 inch action figure collector. As you can see from the wall in front of you, it's jam-packed with 3 3/4 inch action figures. I always say I'm a 3.75 inch collector for life. If I was to go into another line of figures, I have to say it'd probably be Hot Toys. The 6-inch figures don't really do that much for me. I've not got any in my collection to date. But the Hot Toys 12-inch figures, if I was to diversify into another line, that would be where my money would be going. So take note of that one, Hasbro. But as you can see, I am a huge Star Wars collector. Got lots of vintage collection figures in front of you, and some that are in desperate need of a update or a new appearance. So I'd just like to thank sort of Bosk's Bounty, Only One Kenobi, Usual Mike, Customs for the Kids, and a lot of other people that I've seen online, either on Instagram or YouTube, which are picking up on this sort of campaign at the moment. So we've got the hashtag backTVC, the vintage collection. So we just really want to make Hasbro known that we still love the vintage collection. I was very happy to see the return of that line, particularly the card backs, the recent sort of 3 3/4 inch Black Series boxed figures. They did absolutely nothing for me. Just looked totally lackluster. All of the packaging is long gone to recycling, so I've got a few figures from that line, but I wasn't inspired to buy them at retail. I in fact just picked them up because I saw them reduced in a sort of retail outlet. So that's my only entrance into that line of figures. So the vintage collection, however, I can't go into a shop in the UK and buy those figures, which is a shame. I have to pre-order them online, and then there's some degree of success whether I get them at launch or if I get them later on. But they do originally eventually triple, can't say it now, drip through. But you know, it'd be great if I could just walk into Tesco, a Tiff Smith's toy store, an entertainment store, buy the latest vintage collection figures at retail rather than sort of having to pre-order all the time. So distribution's another issue with the line as well. But what I do, I just pause the video, grab the camera, and then we just take a closer look at a few of these figures. These cases, in case you are wondering, are custom built. I built these a few years back to display my original trilogy figures dust free. So they've got a plastic insert that goes in front of the figures to protect them. But I'll just give you a closer look at some of the figures and maybe just discuss a few of the figures that we maybe need an update or a lack in the collection altogether. So just bear with me a moment. Alright, here we go guys. So starting off, C3PO. He definitely needs to be released on a vintage collection Star Wars card. as part of the vintage collection. The current repack, I believe, is the Black Series figure, which is to me underscaled and not the definitive version that we ought to have. My version there is a custom, I'm glad to say. So that's one figure that just springs to mind. Luke Skywalker, he definitely needs an update as part of the vintage collection. Again, on a Star Wars original Luke Skywalker card. Death Star droid, another. Tusken Raider, Sand People, Han Solo. We did get a Chewbacca, which is good. Mandalorian, Flame Trooper, that's a custom of mine. Definitely need to see that as part of the vintage collection. What we got here? Jawa we did get on a Star Wars card, but I think we need a soft cape version, maybe something similar to that one. That's a custom of mine. What else we got? So again, guys, just let me know any figures here you'd like to see as part of the vintage collection or updated. I mean, I could probably say all of those, to be honest. And down here we've got a few other figures. Again, some of these are quite expensive on the secondary market. That chap there, I can't remember his name, out of the cantina. He was a very difficult figure for me to obtain. It'd be nice to maybe see something like that on a vintage card. That would be fantastic. Greedo, that's a custom figure of mine. I think the one that we got carded from the Saga collection is a bit lacking, so maybe a potential another reissue. We got the Han Solo, we're getting a Luke Skywalker, that's good to see. A few other cards there. Tarkin could maybe do with a reissue. Obi-Wan Kenobi, that's another custom figure of mine. That definitely needs an update as part of the vintage collection. And then we've got a few figures down the bottom. There's more random stuff down the bottom. So on to Empire. So again, some of these figures, Black Series, vintage collection. Again, let me know any figures that you think should be part of the vintage collection. I'd say there's quite a few there as well I'd like to see. It goes a little bit off topic here, so we've got a sort of concept Boba Fett in the Empire box, but hey, a few pilots. As you can see, I've not managed to get the Hoth Endor soldier, so I'd love to see that figure reissued, but whether we'll get that or not, I don't know. Dengar, now that is a superb sculpt on that figure. That's probably the figure that really, I think it was the first one in the vintage collection, but that figure, I saw that and I thought, well, I need to get into this line of figures. Boba Fett, so again, this is a custom Boba Fett. The current reissue of Boba Fett is the helmet is still not right. The recent 5 points of articulation twin pack with Han Solo, that figure is amazing. It just needs to be super articulated, preferably released on the Blue Sky Return of the Jedi card. You do wonder sometimes at Hasbro with some of the choices of the card backs. They do seem to be a bit odd at times. Lobot and Princess Leia Bespin, those two figures definitely need new all action figures on new cards. So again, it'd be nice to see those as part of the 40th anniversary of Empire Strikes Back as new figures. A few other figures there, and then just a bit off topic down the bottom there. And then on to Return of the Jedi. So we have had a few new figures in this line recently, which has been very good. So it just shows you how good things could be. But we'll just take a look at some of these figures here. Again, some of these are superb. Love that Gamorrean guard. Bib Fortuna is another one that we definitely need a new all sculpt on. He's lacking, and with the release of the barge, you think that might have been a figure they might have done, but we didn't get that for some reason. A few other guys there. And then down here, I mean, some of these figures here, Klaatu or Woof, whatever you call him, that again just shows you how good things could be when they do get it right. That's an amazing figure, as is also the Yak Face. That's a superb figure, so we just need more of that. Squidhead, he's a definite contender for a new figure. And then we did get some of these guys here recently re-released. That chap there, I know a lot of people are missing him, so it'd be nice to see him reissued on the Vintage Collection card. And then we got some of these guys recently. And the Max Rebo band. I mean, I still prefer the original Return of the Jedi characters as opposed to the special editions, but these guys could do with a reissue as part of the Vintage Collection. And then down here, yeah, Endor, Luke and Leia. These are customs of mine with new heads. They need redoing. And then we've got some of these other guys which are a little bit hard to get, so you might like to see those as part of the collection re-released. And I know a lot of people are still wanting figures from the sort of prequel films and the sequel films as well. But yeah, just it's a great range of figures. It just doesn't seem to be getting the love in recent years compared to what it did a few years back. I did see some comments the other day saying that you know, the Black Series figures cost the same sort of money to produce as these, but they sell for a lot more money. So from a business point of view, you can maybe understand that. But I think in the terms of sort of, you know, sales of figures in total, sort of volume, if you would, I do believe that 3 3/4 inch action figures still outsell their 6-inch counterparts. So I for one am 3.75 inch for life. So Hasbro, hopefully you're getting the message now from the collecting community about these figures. We are happy to pay a premium for premium figures, but sometimes it's good and sometimes it's not so good. So if you make it, we will buy it. That's a simple message from me. So hope you like that video, guys. If you've got a channel, please jump on this campaign, hashtag backTVC. Thanks for watching. See you on the next video.